of the seeds I am seeing. This is good. Okay. Okay. So a very good morning, all of you. Am I audible till there? Okay. Okay. So yesterday we started off with some bit of basics of geography. 2-3 things that I would like to change in today's lecture. One thing that I got as the speed was a little fast, probably thoda fast tha speed. So I'll try to moderate my speed a bit today. One question that I should have asked, I asked in a different manner. I asked how many of you are not I hope all of you are comfortable with Hindi. I shouldn't have said that. Probably I should have asked the opposite way. क्या होता है ना? This is the problem with majoritarian thing. Those who are not comfortable, उनके हाथ दिखते नहीं है. That means those who are not comfortable, their hands cannot be seen. So I should have rather asked that how many of you are not comfortable with Hindi. So I think I will keep my dominant mode as English. I will try to repeat. I'll try to say some bit of things in Hindi. The only problem that I feel right now is, abhi to theek hai, I can speak, I can have a bilingual mode on English, some more of English and some of Hindi. Problem is when mapping will come, what happens is जो short forms होते हैं, mnemonics होते हैं, वो हिंदी में ही होते हैं. Or the short forms and mnemonics are majorly in Hindi. So you need to spare me there. You need to spare me there. For example, I was teaching today. So the largest tributary of Ganga river system, the largest tributary of Ganga, that is the longest. Largest nahi hai. Longest is with respect to size, largest is with respect to volume, right? So largest tributary of Ganga is Ghagra. So the origin of Ghagra is Makcha Chungo Glacier. Okay. So how do you remember this? How do I help student in remembering this? Is I say Ghagre ka maap lete hain. So certain mnemonics, certain short forms, I would probably keep it in Hindi. That's not easy to translate. That's not easy to connect also. But my dominant mode would be English. I will be teaching majorly in English. I would say something in Hindi. But mnemonics ke liye we'll have to do some jugaad. Kar lenge uska bhi kuch. We'll do something. How many of you are not comfortable with Hindi? Fine. Feel comfortable to raise your hand. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, fine. I'll keep my dominant mode as English today. 1. The pace was a bit fast, so I'll try to moderate my pace. You let me know about the pace, when it goes fast, when it is slow, how it is. We'll adjust in 2-3 days. That's not a major issue there. Right. So good morning, class. We started off with geological time scale yesterday. Geological time scale, I said it's the time through which we understand that how the life forms on the earth has evolved, how the landforms on the earth has evolved. So when we have to scale, when I have to write a time scale for my earth, I can, when I have to write the time scale for my earth, I can divide the earth's history, into the various phases, into the various time phases. The earliest time phase. So just like you have, I'm just revising it. I'm not letting you teach. I'm not starting off yet. When I say there is a decade, okay, the decade can be subdivided into year. The year can be subdivided into, let's say, months. The months can be subdivided into days and then hours and etc. So the biggest division while we are studying, so in my 10th, when I was in 20s, when I was in 30s, when I'll be in 40s, you are studying your life history through decades. Then year by year, this year I went to this place, this year I did this year that was the new venture. So you have subdivided it. into year. In the year, this is an important month, this is an important day. Similarly, while I am studying the history of the earth, I am using the biggest division that is called as eon. Okay, then the eon can be subdivided. I said there are two major eons on the earth. One, let's say you have a pre-Cambrian eon. This is one major eon. Okay, and the other major eon. So I can divide it like this. You can divide it like this. So two major eon. One is the pre-Cambrian eon. The other is your Phanerozoic eon. So let's say this like this. So pre-Cambrian eon and other is your Phanerozoic eon. Pre-Cambrian eon and Phanerozoic eon. Further subdivision of the pre-Cambrian times. Why am I saying times and not eon? Why? Because there have been debate whether it is a eon, whether it is an era, what is it? Because we are talking about billions of years back. As we are talking of billions of years back, it is not easy to precisely date. So I am saying pre-Cambrian times. Sometimes the word pre-Cambrian eon is used. Sometimes the words pre-Cambrian era is used. Pre-Cambrian eon era time period can be further divided into three: Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic. Okay, so two major eons, the pre-Cambrian eon and the Phanerozoic eon. Then the subdivision of the pre-Cambrian is Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic. This is Hadean, this is Archean, this is Proterozoic. What is the time period? The time period is 3.5 billion years ago to, it ranges from 3.5 billion years ago to 540 million years ago. 540 million years ago, the pre-Cambrian eon ends. What does start? Your Phanerozoic eon starts. It continues up to what time? To the present day era. Present day era, which eon? We are living in the Phanerozoic eon. This Phanerozoic eon can be subdivided into era, eon, era, a period, epoch, right? So, eon, this Phanerozoic eon, I am subdividing into three eras. What are the eras? You have we have Paleozoic, we have Mesozoic, and we have Cenozoic. Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Paleozoic starts from when? It starts from 540 million years. It starts from 540 million years. Continues up to 270 million years. Continue up to 270 million years. So Paleozoic kahan se? 540 million years to 270 million years. Then from 270 million years to, let's say, about 65 million years, you have what? Mesozoic era. So from 270 million to 65 million, we have Mesozoic era. From 65 million to present day, we have what era? Cenozoic era. So can I make this statement that, no, not important. I'm just telling you, it is not important for you to remember, but then certain things should not get confused, so I'm saying. So can I say that we are living in the Phanerozoic eon, in the Cenozoic era? Yes, we can say this, Phanerozoic eon and the Cenozoic era. Then this Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic eras are further divided into certain periods. So what are the periods? We have the cost cap. Yeah, the cost cap. Okay, this is your Paleozoic, the cost cap. We have Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. That's what is your Paleozoic, further subdivided into periods. Okay, so this also starts from what? 540 to 270. That's what it is, the entire Paleozoic. Iske andar bhi years hain, but I don't think you should remember. You should not, even if you don't remember this much, these years, then also it is fine. But why am I telling you? I'm telling you so that you know which is early, which is late. You cannot say Paleozoic is early and Cenozoic is late. Don't say that. Cenozoic is early now and Paleozoic was the initial one. Moving on, then I say Mesozoic. The Mesozoic era is subdivided into CJT, the CJT period, Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Okay, then the Cenozoic is further divided into Tertiary period and the Quaternary period. The Tertiary period is further divided into various epochs. The epochs is your PEOM. याद हो गया? काफी लोगों को याद है. You remember it? That's very pleasant. That I think you went back home. कल का डोज खत्म नहीं हुआ. ठीक है? So you went back home, probably you revised, and many of you are remembering the terms. That's good. It's actually very pleasing. Then we have your Peom, and then you have your Pleistocene and the Holocene. So can I say that we live in the Phanerozoic eon, in the Cenozoic era, in the Quaternary period, in the Holocene epoch. समझ आ रहा है? What is happening? हाँ, yes, we'll see. अभी why am I saying Holocene? What are the debates about Holocene? You will see in your newspapers the Holocene. Right now we are living in Holocene. This is one of the official name that has been given. There have been debates about that the Holocene should be changed. The name of Holocene should be changed. The name of Holocene should become Anthropocene, because we have done too much good to the earth. So because we've done too much good to the earth, we should be given a credit of. ठीक है? तो it's like पुराने पाप पीछा नहीं छोड़ते. ये तो हमारे अभी वाले हैं. ठीक है? So there is a suggestion. There's a suggestion that to recognize the destruction, to recognize what we have done to earth, the Holocene should be recognized as Anthropocene. Right? So what we have done so far, we were looking at what was the conditions during Hadean time, what was the condition during the Archean time, what was the condition during the Proterozoic time. During the Hadean time, it was very, very hot. During the Archean time, you had the simplest life form coming, then the initial life forms and the simplest life form. During your Archean and the Proterozoic time period, you have oceans and the continents also coming during the Archean time period. Then you have the life form coming here, and then we have the evolution of the life form: Cretaceous, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. We've seen the evolution of life form. You've seen the evolution of fish. Then we saw about plants, then amphibians, then reptiles. That's what we have done. And then we said once the plant came somewhere here, Devonian, Silurian, you have your carbon coming up. The carbon, that is the coal coming up during the time period during your Carboniferous period. During Carboniferous period, as the name suggests, carbon, it was the majority of the coal that has come in the world. Then we said that why is it so? Why is it so? When dense forests, they subside, they submerge, they undergo anaerobic decomposition, then you have coal, right? Then why is it so that we see the coal fields of the world in the temperate belt and not in the tropical belt? For that matter, South America, you do not have coal fields. Africa, not major coal fields. India, we have coal fields, but we do not have good quality coal fields. Why is it so? The answer is the continental drift. The continents have drifted. The drifting of the continents. So this was one of the idea given by Wegener. I am not touching it. You need not write it, but thoda samajh lo. That what is the idea that was given? That there was, once upon a time, there was an entire supercontinent. If I combine all the continents of the world today, if I combine North America, South America, Eurasia, Africa, Asia, all of them together and put it somewhere here. ठीक है, जैसा मन करे बना लो. This is about your Pangea. And Wegener says, this was given by Alfred Wegener. He took idea from many people. His theory was not original. He was inspired from India and China. Nothing original. Okay. So there was a supercontinent called as Pangea. It was surrounded by a super ocean called as Panthalassa. The Pangea broke, and it says that the Pangea broke into two parts, Gondwana and your Laurasia. What makes up Gondwana today? This is Gondwana. The Pangaea broke into Gondwana and Laurasia. Laurasia and Gondwana में टूट गया. What makes up? Then it again split. It again split to form the North America. It again split to form Eurasia. It split to form. This was Laurasia. Laurasia split to form North America and Eurasia. Gondwana split to form your Africa. We have the South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, and India. India is an exception everywhere. Okay? See, if you look at the present day continents, the northern continents, North America and Eurasia, they are derived from what? Laurasia. But India is also there in the northern hemisphere. But it is not derived from Laurasia. It is derived from the Gondwana. ठीक है, तो इसलिए कहते हैं India exception है. ठीक है. So here you have this. This is what your present day continents are. North America, Eurasia, you have Africa, South America, Antarctica, Australia and India. Right. Here, if you look at carefully, the present day temperate belt, was once a part of the tropical latitude. It was there a part, this was equator, it was a part of the tropical latitude. And the present day tropical latitudes were where? They were situated somewhere here. So they were part of what? They were part of the temperate belt because the Pangaea was in the southern hemisphere. So this temperate belt becomes your tropical belt. This tropical belt yesterday was your temperate belt. So therefore, what do we see? That the dense coal is found where? It is found in the present day temperate region because they were then the tropical countries. They were the tropical regions. Yes, it is possible that you can again have a massive supercontinent. You can see that will depend on how far is your continent moving. That can happen. So you cannot be sure of where India would be from where it is million of years back or million of years forward. Cut forward, we do not know where India would be, where North America would be, where South America would be. So therefore, you will see that the present day coal is not found majorly in this belt, in the tropical one, but in the temperate region. Is it fine? Because how is coal formed? Coal is formed when the dense forest, they subside, they decompose, anaerobic decomposition, then you will have coal. So for you to have dense forest, you will need warm and humid conditions, warm and humid conditions. That is why you find majorly in this one belt. Is it fine? तो यहीं तक देखा था, ठीक है? You need not write this. We will write this while we will do the continental drift theory. What was the last thing that you wrote? Phanerozoic start किया था. Phanerozoic में हमने we had done in the Phanerozoic. In the Phanerozoic we have done the divisions. The divisions like Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. That's what we had done. And then we said cost cap, right? Did you write the evolution of the life like fishes, reptiles, amphibians, etc.? If we remember, this was the age of the reptile. Okay, this was the age of the reptile. Where am I? If I look at the geological time scale, here this is Phanerozoic, this is Precambrian, here you have Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. I am here at the cost cap, right? Here this is done. Now I am moving on to Mesozoic. In Mesozoic we have CJ and T. So in Mesozoic we have CJ, T, Cretaceous. Now you can write Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic. Okay, so here we saw that the reptiles have emerged. Cost cap में the reptiles have emerged. In the Permian time, the reptiles have emerged, and then the reptiles they actually continue. ये ऐसे लिखना चाहिए था. the reptiles, they continue in the age of Triassic. So this also becomes the age of the reptile. Triassic also becomes the age of the reptile. Permian say they are continuing, they are increasing in the number in the Triassic. Then you Jurassic, what do you have? We have the age of the dinosaur. Jurassic Park, the age of the dinosaur. And by the time it is Cretaceous, there is your extinction. Extinction of what? Extinction of the dinosaur. Your dinosaur, they start getting extinct. Okay. There are various ideas about why did the extinction happen. Because they were so much in number, then there was survival of the fittest, then they in the competition there was extinction. One is there was dry conditions, there's other is there was some meteor that fall that led to climate change, that has led to extinction. So that is, there are many ideas about it. None of them have been comprehensively proved. ठीक है, बस इतना पता है कि एक age में they were increasing, the other age there was extinction. This much is enough for your Mesozoic. Coming on to the Cenozoic, this was Mesozoic. Then you have the Cenozoic. In the Cenozoic, what do we have? ये लिख लिया, all of you have written this Mesozoic में. In the Cenozoic, what do we have? We have tertiary and we have quaternary. So you can write this, the tertiary and quaternary in Cenozoic. In Cenozoic, we have tertiary and quaternary. Tertiary and quaternary. In the tertiary, we have Piomb. In the tertiary, we have Piomb, right? And in the quaternary, we have Pleistocene and Holocene. Pleistocene and Holocene. ठीक है, समझ आ रहा है what is going on? Tertiary, Pleistocene, tertiary, quaternary, Pleistocene and Holocene and other things. In the tertiary time period, we have the formation of the major mountain system. We have the formation of the major mountain systems like Himalayas, like Andes, you have Rockies, Alps, Great Dividing Range. Great Dividing Range. Do you know the location of these? Do you know where is Andes? Where is Rockies? ठीक. Andes is there in your South America. Andes is there in South America. Rockies is there in the North America. Alps कहाँ पे? In the Europe. And Great Dividing Range is in your Australia. This is there in the Australia. ठीक है? Great Dividing Range is there in the Australia. Alps is in Europe. You can also write one more. Atlas. Atlas भी यहीं पे आया था. Atlas कहाँ पे? The northern part of Africa. The northern part of. Okay, I don't know that. I want to do that. But how do we do that? Is it not visible? ये ठीक है? Is it fine? नहीं? Okay, fine. Wait. ठीक है, हम कहाँ पे हम चार्ट बनाते हैं. I'm just making a chart. The problem is this is not maneuvering. The board is not maneuvering. That is the main problem for me. Wait. I am at the geological time scale. In the geological time scale, I was looking at all of you, please. I was looking at the time period called as Cenozoic. In the Cenozoic, I said we have tertiary and we have quaternary. All of you clear with this? Tertiary and the quaternary. In the tertiary, we said we have what? We have PEOMP. ये देख लिया था हमने. We know PEOMP. We have Pliocene. We have Paleocene. we have Eocene, we have Oligocene, we have Miocene, and we have Pliocene. ठीक है, ये देखा. In the quaternary we have Pleistocene and we have Holocene. Is it fine? I said here you have the major mountain system. The major mountain system. What are the major mountain system that we have? You can write. पहले तो मुझे ये बताओ, how many of you don't know how to draw a world map? ठीक है, फाइन. पहले आप नाम लिख लो, फिर वर्ल्ड मैप बनाएंगे फिर इसी में. तो प्लीज राइट द नेम्स. यू हैव एंडीज, वी हैव रॉकीज. द एंडीज इज योर पार्ट ऑफ द साउथ अमेरिका. We have Rockies in North America. The major mountain systems like here, I'm continuing the major mountain system here. Andes, Rockies. The first is Andes. The second is Rockies. You have Atlas. Atlas is there in your Africa. You have your Great Dividing Range. The Great Dividing Range in part of Australia. Andes, Rockies, Atlas Mountain, the third one. Fourth is Great Dividing Range. You have fifth one here as Himalayas. We know where is Himalayas? The Himalayas. Andes, Rockies. We have the Alps. Alps भी है. Sixth one is Alps. Alps is there in Europe. This is there in Europe. ठीक है, ये आपके माउंटेन जो मेजर माउंटेन सिस्टम्स बने हैं वो आपके टर्शियरी टाइम पीरियड पे बने. द टर्शियरी टाइम पीरियड हैज लेड टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द मेजर माउंटेन सिस्टम. ठीक है, देन हियर all of you, have you written the mountain ranges? We have around 5-6 mountain ranges. Then we have, let's first complete a geological time scale. I will teach you then how to draw a map, the world map as well as the map of India. How many of you don't know even India map? Okay, we have couple of you. 50% of the class does not know India map. 90% of the class does not know world map. We'll do that. Okay, so we are talking about the time period of Cenozoic and then we are moving on to Pleistocene. Pleistocene में एक सबसे major चीज जो हुई थी, that was your ice age. The entire world was covered with ice. Majorly दो region थे जो cover हुए थे ice से. So you had ice age in the Pleistocene time period. ठीक है, and then presently what do we have? This is your present time. This is the present time. Okay, this is the present time where we are living. नहीं, बहुत सारे फीचर्स भी हुए थे, बट मेजर फीचर्स आपके माउंटेन्स के. ठीक है, देयर हैव बीन अदर थिंग्स आल्सो. टर्शियरी के बाद से जब प्लीस्टोसीन आइस, आपके कोरल रीफ्स इफेक्ट हुए थे माउंटेन के कारण, आपका क्लाइमेट इफेक्ट हुआ था. बट हमारे लिए मेजर कंसर्न, मेजर चीजें माउंटेन का पता होना चाहिए, और ये पता होना चाहिए कि कौन से माउंटेन्स कहाँ पे है. अभी जो इनिशियल फेज पे जो करंट फेज पे है वो किस पीरियड में? सबसे पहला पीरियड जब कॉन्टिनेंट्स बने थे, दैट वाज द आर्कियन टाइम पीरियड. देखो एक चीज समझो, जब अर्थ गर्म है, हॉट नेब्यूला है, वो ठंडा हो रहा है, एज इट इज कूलिंग, वोल्केनिज्म होगा. वोल्केनिज्म होगा तो आपकी क्रस्ट बनेगी. क्रस्ट इज व्हाट इज कॉन्टिनेंट एंड ओशंस? दे आर नथिंग बट division of the crust. If I talk about earth, you have various layers. The first layer is the crust. इस पे क्या है आपके continents and oceans. कब बने ये? They were formed during the Archean time period. During the Archean time period, you had the crust, continents and the ocean. Now, once they have been formed, that does not mean that they will always be permanent. There will be change. So continents bane. What was the first continent? What? That is a story. That is a story. Is it correct? We don't know. That is a story. तो एक स्टोरी है जो वेगनर ने बोले कि पैंजिया है. क्या डिटेल्स सही हैं? हमें नहीं पता. ये वो स्टोरी है. So I don't want to say this, but then क्या फूक के बोल रहे थे पता नहीं. ठीक है. So that is a story part of it. But we all know few things in geography, that crust was formed when the earth was hot. The earth was cooling. There was crust that was formed. The story is given by Wegener. That is Pangea was there. After Wegener, there were other people who've given their story. No, this is not correct. This is correct. This is right. This is an alternative. But we are simply not saying 100% correct. The only 100% correct theory will be your plate tectonics theory. We will 100% rely on it because there have been no refutation. क्या वो भी theory पूरी चीजें बताती है? नहीं बताती है. Not all of them are known by plate tectonics also. So here the first thing that was formed was ocean and continent during your Archean time period. एक बार continents और ocean बने, कहाँ थे वो? एक बार oceans और continents बने, where were they? What was the shape? Do we have some evidences? We are talking about 3.5 billion years ago. We do not have evidences that what was the shape, how were they formed, where were they? Does that mean that present day India was not in southern hemisphere? Possibly. Does that mean that India was somewhere else? Possibly. But then there are ideas that have been given. Some of the ideas are taught to us, some of the ideas are not taught to us. Okay. So Archean time period में continents और ocean बने थे. Yes. Yes, the part of Jammu and Kashmir. If I talk about, not the entire one, no, not the entire. If I talk about Ice Age, you can write this point. The major locations, लिखें, the major locations covered, the major locations covered were North America, South America, and the northern portion. So, northern portion of Eurasia, the northern portion of Eurasia, and India, and northern portion of India. Northern portion of India, northern portion of Eurasia, North America, and some regions of South America also. ठीक है, तो ये आपके ice age में majorly the northern portion was covered. When I say ice age, it is not that when I say word ice age, it is not that for every, for the entire. So if I say the ice age, let's say, is of 100 million years, let's say for this, we say this is the 100 million years which we are saying is ice age. That does not mean that for entire 100 million years ice age ही रहेगा. There will be ice age, there will be some warming. Again ice age, again some warming. Again some ice age, again some warming. But then the entire, if this is ice age, some warming. Ice age, some warming and ice age. हम पूरे को ice age बोलते हैं. But that does not mean कि ice age में there would be no warming. There would be glacial time periods. There would be interglacial time periods. Glacial time periods and the interglacial time period. This is your Pleistocene ice age. ठीक है. जहां बर्फ गिरी, जहां ठंडा हो गया, there's nothing scientific there. Wherever the temperature fell, that is what we know. So there have been ideas about it also, but then the major idea is जहां बर्फ गिरी, जहां पे temperature fall, right? Okay. Now write about the present time period, Holocene time period. लिखें Holocene के बारे में. Present time period is a warmer phase of Earth. The warmer phase of the Earth. In the present time period, Holocene, the present time period is the warmer phase of Earth. Is the warmer phase of Earth. That means my Earth has started warming. Now, the Earth has always gone through a series of warming, cooling, right? If you look at Archean time period, it was very, if you look at Hadean time period, it was very, very warm. It was very very warm. फिर थोड़ा कूलिंग हुआ, फिर वार्मिंग हुआ, फिर कूलिंग हुआ, फिर वार्मिंग हुआ, कूलिंग हुआ. अभी वाला जो टाइम पीरियड है, देयर इज वार्मिंग दैट इज गोइंग ऑन. द प्रेजेंट डे देयर इज वार्मिंग. नाउ द डिबेट इज the warming natural because earth has always gone through series of warming and cooling, or are we responsible for it? The idea is it can be both, but who is the major contributor? We are the major contributor. How do you know that? The rate at which the warming is taking place, the rate at which the species are getting extinct, points out to the evidence that it is not simply natural. The phenomena has been accelerated. The phenomena has been accelerated because of man. So you have written that the present day time period was a warmer phase. Write a full stop and write one of the major contributors is man, as the rate of warming is too high, to be natural, and therefore there are debates that Holocene should be renamed as Anthropocene. Should be renamed. नाम बदल दे उसका, renamed as Anthropocene. समझ आया? What is the debate? This is the debate. Yes. हाँ, वही तो बता रहे हैं कि बहुत सारी स्टोरीज है इसके पीछे भी. इतना ही समझो कि जहां टेम्परेचर गिरा वहां आइस हुई. ठीक है, वो अभी इट्स पॉसिबल ना कि अभी भी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रही है तो सारे रीजन तो इक्वली वार्म नहीं हो रहे. आप देखोगे कि इफ आई टॉक अबाउट हिमालयस, इन द हिमालयस देयर इज वन रेंज दैट इज गेटिंग मोर वार्म. डू यू नो दैट रेंज? काराकोरम. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? काराकोरम अनोमली बोलते हैं कि काराकोरम is getting more warmed than as compared to Ladakh and Zanskar. Why is it happening? We do not know. What is the dynamics that is working? So wherever the temperature fell, वहां पे आप जहां आपको आइस एज के एविडेंसेस दिखते हैं वहां हमको पता होता है कि यहाँ पे टेम्परेचर कम हुआ था. इट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल दैट वी आर ट्राइंग टू देयर हैव बीन नो डिस्कवरी फ्रॉम अफ्रीका बिकॉज रॉक्स ने अपना एविडेंसेस नहीं बचाया. वो भी पॉसिबल है. बट अभी का जो प्रेजेंट नॉलेज है उसमें हमें ये पता है कि नॉर्थ अमेरिका, यूरोप, नॉर्दर्न पोर्शन ऑफ यूरेशिया, इंडिया एंड सम पोर्शंस ऑफ साउथ अमेरिका वर देयर. ठीक है, सो दिस इज अबाउट योर जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल. I will just try to revise what we have done, just simply revision of what we have done. We were looking at the geological time scale. In the geological, one thing that you can also write is the in the Holocene time period. In the Holocene time period, उसी में Holocene time period में लिखिए, an important phenomena is evolution of the modern man. Okay, modern man evolved during the time period of Holocene. ठीक है, so अगर आप evolution of man का देखें, if I talk about, we are talking about life forms. We are one of the most dominant life forms. When I talk about the evolution of the evolution of man has taken from a very primitive man, chimpanzees, and then Australopithecus, then Homo habitus, then Homo erectus, then Homo neanderthals. याद नहीं करना है, but सुन लो. And last is your Homo sapien, the wise man that we call Homo sapien. So you can see that we have actually evolved like this. If I talk about the evolution of human species, the evolution of Homo sapien, कहाँ इवॉल्व हुआ होमोसेपियन? द होमोसेपियन रेस हैज एक्चुअली इवॉल्व्ड इन अफ्रीका. Only place where it is said that human have evolved is Africa, and from Africa we have migrated to places. How many of you have read the book Sapiens? किसी ने ये किताब पढ़ी है Sapiens? पूरी नहीं पढ़ी है? पढ़ी है. First chapter ही सबसे interesting है. It tells that this is how the man actually evolved from Africa. It talks about, it's a very nice book. Whenever you have time, you can read this. Your questions of why do we like sweet, वो हमारे genes में है, right? Why do we like sweet? Why do we, what is something that differentiate man from other species? We were just like any other species, like tiger, like elephant, like giraffe, and you also should know that we are not the powerful. We're not the strongest. Biologically, हम strongest नहीं है. We're not the strongest of all the species. We cannot, fight a tiger, fight an elephant. That's not what we are. But still, why are we dominating this earth? There was some cognitive revolution that happened. हमारे, अगर if I talk in Hindi, हमारे brain में कुछ chemical लोचा हुआ, ठीक है? And then we could develop the art of speaking. We can communicate our feelings in a way that no other animal can. Other animals can tell, भूख लगी है, I want to go out, this is what I want to do, but then we can communicate like anything. This is what I'm feeling, the intensity of it, the emotions that came to our, what we felt. That is what this way of communication, the expressions that we can have. This led to development of the human species. And because we could communicate, we could build stories. Because we could build stories and we could take faith, we could garner the faith of other individuals. There your idea of development started. There we started dominating. So it quotes a book, the book quotes some examples like, what is a dollar? If I simply say dollar क्या है? You can look at dollar as one of the most powerful currency of the world, or you can simply look it as a piece of paper. That is how you look. And just because we could garner trust, what is a company? Any private limited, what is it? It is, you cannot see a company, right? You cannot see company. We do not know what is Tata Steel. We do not know. It is not a body. It does not have flesh. It does not have blood. But still we trust the company. उसमें पैसे डाल दो, शेयर में पैसे बढ़ जाएंगे. ठीक है, that's what we say. Tata Steel का शेयर अच्छा है. Tata is a good company. उसके corporate norms अच्छे हैं. So why is that happen? Is because we have that faith. So this is what your human species have done. By the way it can communicate, the language, the expression, and telling the stories, fiction. Everything is a fiction, right? So the fiction that we could communicate and we could garner the trust has led to the development that we see all over the world today, and that is why that has enabled us to dominate the earth. So there have been 2-3 revolutions that has led to dominance of the human species. One revolution was the fire, development of fire, Neolithic revolution, जहाँ से agriculture start हुआ, but that was one. Second was your cognitive revolution that has developed the way we think, the way we communicate, the way we can create stories. So this is the evolution of the modern man, that the modern man has actually evolved. मॉडर्न मैन का हुआ. स्टार्टिंग तो आपकी पहले से ही हो गई थी. प्लायोसीन में आपके अर्ली ह्यूमन एंसेस्टर्स आए थे, यहाँ पे आपके अर्ली एंसेस्टर्स आए, ठीक है, और वहां पे आपका मॉडर्न मैन होलोसीन में बना. तो योर अर्ली ह्यूमन एंसेस्टर्स वाज समवेयर इन प्लायोसीन, प्लीस्टोसीन यू हैव द स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द होमो सेपियन, एंड द मॉडर्न मैन इज योर होलोसीन. ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हेन आई से द अर्ली ह्यूमन स्पीसीज, उसमें से एक अर्ली ह्यूमन स्पीसीज है आपकी डेनिसोविन मैन. आपकी बहुत सारे अर्ली ह्यूमन स्पीसीज हो सकते. The one of the early human species was the Denisovan man. So there was, this thing was there in news last to last year. We will revise it later. This is what we have done to Earth. ठीक है, ये हमने किया. So this was the question that was asked. The Denisovan, the word Denisovan, sometime referred in the news, is mentioned in reference to a fossil of the kind of dinosaur, ठीक है, a early human species, a cave system in the northeast, a geological period in the history of the subcontinent. The B or the D? तो डेनिसोविन कहाँ पड़ा है? डेवोनियन था वो. That was not Denisovin, that was Devonian. Okay, cost cap में. The D was the Devonian, not Denisovin. Denisovin, वैसे this is something, this is a new insight for me. कि कोई बच्चा ऐसे भी सोच सकता है कि हाँ Devonian और Denisovin में confuse हो सकता है. वो Devonian था, Denisovin नहीं था. Denisovin is basically an early human species. This was asked in 2019. This was the last time, last interaction with UPSC. Yes. We'll see that. What was that? It was not Denisovin. What is the cave system that was found in the northeast? Was the proof of early human species was not in northeast. It was there in Western Himalayas, not in the northeastern region, right? So Western Himalayas में दिखे थे कुछ traces. वो traces पे debate आया था whether it is possible that the human species have evolved in India. But that is not true. That has not been the most accepted theory. The most accepted theory is that the human species evolved in Africa, and from Africa there have been migration. इस hypothesis को out of Africa hypothesis भी कहते हैं. See, there is why these debates? ये क्यों होते हैं ये debates? The reason for these debates are you want to prove your supremacy in the world, that we gave birth. It was we that started. So this is one of the ideas. तो एक होती है आपकी out of Africa hypothesis. The other is also your out of China hypothesis, which when Chinese they are trying to say that it was China that where the early man evolved. But when we talk about the reality, the most accepted one is your out of Africa hypothesis. Abhi bhi anthropologists by their studies they have proven that it is not China where the man evolved, it is Africa where the man evolved, and from there we have migrated. Okay, so what is Denisovin? Denisovin is basically an early human species. It was before your Pleistocene. Pleistocene के भी पहले. Yes. Yes. Before Pleistocene they came. It was Neanderthals. ठीक है. What I would recommend is please write this word Denisovin. वहीं पे लिखें जहां पे आपने मॉडर्न मैन लिखा है वहां पे स्टार मार्क करके लिखें Denisovin term sometimes in news refers to the early human species. It refers to an early human species. Okay, so ये था आपका geological time scale. What was it? To give you an idea about how the life forms have evolved, respect the other life forms, talk about the other important species. So just it is. I am not saying कि Harari's idea is something that should be accepted. I am just saying it's a good read. You can read it. Idea develop होगा कि see Harari reached two things. One, agricultural revolution that has not been contested. When we talk about cognitive revolution, we can see that. Ki yes, there have been some stories that we create and we do believe in those stories, and therefore I am accepting that viewpoint. Whether it is a last word, no, it is not. It is not a last word. It was just to say it was a good read that you can go for. Right. So we were looking at. Yes. Wegner ने यही किया, आपके notes, मेरे notes, सबके notes बना के मेरे अच्छे notes. That's what Wegner did. So he was not the first one. He was not the first one to tell that continents are moving. It was F.W. Taylor that said the continents are moving. Right? नहीं, not necessarily. एक ही evidence Wegner ने दिया था. नहीं, वो उसके पहले voyages ने ही बता दिया था. Jigsaw फिर भी Wegner ने नहीं दिया था. ठीक है? देखो सबको डराओ मत. They will be feared. They will be afraid. It was not Wegener that gave jigsaw fit. Wegener gave paleoclimatic evidence, the evidence of coal. Wegener कौन थे? Who was Wegener? Wegener was he was a meteorologist. वो climate पढ़ने आए थे, उनको फंसा दिया जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी में, ठीक है, जियोलॉजिस्ट में बना, जियोलॉजिस्ट में फंस गए, पूरी जियोलॉजी में फंस गए. वो पढ़ने गए थे क्लाइमेट. He was actually studying the world climate, and he saw, while he was studying the world climate, he saw that why are there glacial marks in India? You find, if you go to Odisha, you will see that there are landforms जहाँ पे glacial marks हैं. Glacier कहाँ है? इंडिया में, वो भी ओडिशा में. When he went to Europe, he saw कि कोल है, यहाँ पे कैसे कोल है? This was something anomaly for him. Why is this happening? Anomaly is something that is not usual. He says this is an anomaly. Why is this happening? Then he said कि okay. Then he recreated the story. It was, idea was of F.W. Taylor. F.W. Taylor ने Laurasia, Gondwana बोला था, Tethys बोली थी. उन्होंने बस उसको recreate कर दिया, और recreate करने के बाद फंस गए, क्योंकि he could not prove. Because he could not prove, his theory was rejected. The whole theory was rejected. Wegener died a very miserable death. He was called as a madman. ये कुछ भी बोलते हैं. So he अपना core competency छोड़ के वो आए, and then that was the problem that happened there. ठीक है, तो not all the evidences were given by him. One evidence that was given by Wegener was a paleoclimatic evidence, the climatic anomaly जो मैंने अभी touch की थी, right? किसने? ग्लॉसिप टेरेस बोल रहे हो? फॉसिल वाला एविडेंस, हाँ, फॉसिल दो एविडेंसेस दिए थे, फॉसिल एविडेंसेस एंड प्लेलोक्लाइमेट एविडेंसेस. मैंने सोचा ये गैसोपेट्रस क्या होता है. दिस ग्लॉसिप टेरेस, रेप्टाइल के एविडेंसेस वेगनर ने दिए थे, 2 एविडेंस, बट वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एविडेंस, इंपॉर्टेंट एविडेंस वाज योर प्लेलोक्लाइमेटिक एविडेंस. वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एविडेंस था वेगनर का. जिसको नहीं पता है, एक हफ्ते की बात है, यू विल गेट टू नो. ठीक है, सो डोंट वरी, डोंट बी अफ्रेड ऑफ एनीथिंग. Right? Can I move on? We were talking about geological time scale. The geological time scale, what is it and why is it important for us? So you have this one, the Hayden, Archean, Proterozoic, Phanerozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic, cost cap. You have CJT. We have the tertiary quaternary, Piom. Yeah, Himalayas have originated in the tertiary time period, and then you have Holocene and the Pleistocene. No, but just have an idea about it. Okay, you don't have to. Moving on, the topic of discussion that we have today is solar system, universe, etc. So give the topic, give the name: universe, solar system. The universe and the solar system. Okay, yes, world map. ठीक है, पहले वर्ल्ड मैप बनाना सीख लेते हैं, and then we will move on. So while you are drawing world map, 2-3 important lines that you have to know. You should know about equator. You should know about 23.5 degree north, 23.5 degree south. ठीक है, you know 66.5 degree north and 66.5 degree south. इन सबके नाम पता है? Equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle. So here you have the first one, that is your equator. Okay, equator से equidistance बनाएंगे, थोड़ा से distance में बनाएंगे, 23.5 degree north. जितना distance यहाँ रखा है उसी का distance नीचे भी उतना ही रखेंगे. You will go for a 23.5 degree south, 23.5 degree north, 23.5 degree south. Here you have one continent through which all this line passes is Africa. Africa से तीनों पास होता है. You have 23.5 degree north equator as well as 23.5 degree south. So here you have your Africa. How did I draw Africa? What you need to do is you should remember 2-3 things. You should know how to draw a C. You should know how to draw a 3. You should know how to draw a bracket. Bracket, you remember जब 8th class में first time पढ़ा था, तो ऐसे bracket, ऐसा bracket, ऐसा वाला भी bracket था. We were very fascinated, right? So वो brackets वही बनाने और कुछ नहीं बनाना. So how do? You draw a C here. you draw a C here, 23.5 के पास, you draw a 3 here, you draw a 3 there, C and a 3, C towards the 23.5, 3 towards the equator. Then you draw a bracket here, a bracket here. Okay, yes, correct. So here a C, a 3, a bracket. Then you draw another bracket like this, जो आपका Horn of Africa. This is called as the Horn of Africa. Then you try to draw 2 lines to join Africa. That's it. ऐसे आप 2 lines बनाएं और अफ्रीका को join करें. ठीक है, प्लीज मेक दिस विथ मी, बनाते रहें साथ साथ. C बनाए, 3 बनाए, ब्रैकेट बनाए. ठीक है, यस. लाइन ऊपर नीचे हो गई है, थोड़ी सी बढ़ गई है. अच्छा, ऊपर हो जा रही है, कोई बात नहीं, हम 3-4 बार प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. वी विल प्रैक्टिस 2-3 टाइम्स, तो हो जाएगा. नथिंग ग्रेट. बनाओ 2-3. पहला अगर परफेक्ट नहीं भी बन रहा तो कोई बात नहीं, स्टार्टिंग हुई है. ठीक है, इट्स लाइक कुकिंग फूड, लाइक यू कुक फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, नोबडी कैन ईट इट. ठीक है, ओके. दिस इज योर अफ्रीका. वी मेड अ C, वी मेड अ 3, you made a bracket, you made a horn, and then you connected it, right? This was Africa. Now this is all the 3 lines passes through Africa. Now you should know about your North America and South America. From your South America you have 2 lines passing, this and this, equator and the 23.5 degree south. ये South America से पास होता है, इसलिए South America है, south of continent में, southern continent में. North America से you have the 23.5 degree north passing. How do we start? You start off with the isthmus. You start off with isthmus of Panama. Then you draw a C here, again a C, and then you draw certain steps. जो सीढ़ी होती है ना, जैसे सीढ़ियां होती है वैसे. The steps like this, the steps. Okay, and then you join this, just like Africa, but then Africa it was more of straight joining, whereas this is more of the V-shaped joining in South America, right? What did I do? I started off somewhere isthmus above equator, draw a C, draw certain steps, and then you made and joined them. You draw an isthmus just above the equator, you draw a C here, you joined few steps, and then you made like this. Is it fine? This was your South America. If I talk about North America, North America is somewhere between a bird and a bat. कभी North America को ढंग से देखने लगेगा ये bird है कि bat है, समझ नहीं आ रहा. कहीं से wings दिखते हैं, कहीं से face दिखता है. So it is a confused continent in reality also. So here from the isthmus you are drawing like this. You draw something like this. आपने एक प्रोजेक्शन बनाया, that is your Gulf of California and the California. You made a projection like this. You went like this. ये bird के जैसे wings होते हैं वैसे आपने एक wings बनाया, the flap of the bird, right? Then you went straight. Then you draw again a bracket type, थोड़ा सा से face बनाया आपने bird का. ठीक है, फिर वापस isthmus पे आए, वापस से आपने ऐसे यहाँ पे एक प्रोजेक्शन बनाया और इसको ज्वाइन किया. समथिंग लाइक अ बर्ड एंड अ बैट, समथिंग इन बिटवीन. ठीक है, दिस इज योर नॉर्थ अमेरिका. यहाँ पे आपका ग्रीनलैंड है. ठीक है, उसके बाद इफ यू लुक एट इटली वेरी क्लोजली, you will look at Italy, you will feel Italy is like a boot. The boots that you wear in winters, the boot that you wear in winters, it is okay, fine. So it's like यहां से बनाते हैं. ठीक है, ये प्रोजेक्शन किया, साथ साथ बनाते चलो प्लीज. हम 4-5 बार बनाएंगे, आपका परफेक्शन आ जाएगा. यहां से आपने ऐसे प्रोजेक्शन किया. ठीक है, प्रोजेक्शन किया, जस्ट ये साउथ इस्थिमिस था, इसको आपने स्ट्रेट करके एक छोटा सा प्रोजेक्शन बनाया और आपने इसे स्ट्रेट बनाया. सो क्रिएट अ प्रोजेक्शन हियर, क्रिएट अ प्रोजेक्शन हियर. यहाँ पे दिस इज व्हाट इज योर 23.5. एक प्रोजेक्शन बनाया ऐसे. ठीक है, उसको आप स्ट्रेट लेके गए, स्ट्रेट के बाद जैसे बर्ड्स के विंग नहीं होते, लाइक दिस, ओके, देन यू गो स्ट्रेट, you go like this and then you make a face and then you join it. Some of you have made it, some of you have tried making it. ठीक है, perfect. Yes. I don't know why is this thing of perfection killing us. बनाएंगे 4-5 बार, don't worry. ठीक है. Then you have coming to the Eurasian part. You have Italy. If you look at Italy closely, it resembles a boot. It resembles a boot. आप वहां बनाना बाद में, पहले देख लो यहाँ पे, ये ऐसे जैसे बूट बनाते हैं ना, just like a boot. It resembles a boot. Boot जो विंटर्स में पहनते हैं फैशन के लिए, जम बूट्स ही बोलते हैं, राइट? You call it as jump boots. What do you call? You go to DU, you will see many of them wearing boots. Got it? ये थोड़ा boots टाइप है, तो यहाँ पे आपने ऐसे हील बनाया and you make it like this. Then यहाँ पे आपने एक C बनाया है उल्टा, मतलब C बनाया है, this is your Iberian Peninsula, और आपने बस join किया. You have joined this a C and you have joined. Go straight. Scandinavian Peninsula, Norway, Sweden, Finland वाला, right? Then you go straight. ठीक है, straight बनाया ऐसे, ये प्रोजेक्शन था ऐसे, फिर ये कम चटका पेनिनसुला है, फिर बस आपने सी और सी बनाने, उल्टे सी बड़े बड़े, ठीक है. यहाँ पे रुक जाना पहले, ठीक है. फिर यहाँ से बनाना सऊदी अरेबिया. ऑल ऑफ यू, what did I do? I made a boot. I went for Iberian Peninsula. I draw Scandinavian Peninsula like this and ये मैंने यहाँ पे छोड़ दिया, स्ट्रेट बना के, प्रोजेक्शन बना के छोड़ दिया, राइट? यहाँ तक बना लिया. हाँ, गुड, वेरी गुड. यस, फाइन, गुड. Go straight and then make a Kamchatka Peninsula. दिखाओ. You seem to be very excited. दिखाओ. ठीक है, कोई नहीं, पहली बार बना रहे हैं लाइफ में. आगे बढ़े. देन इसके बाद आपका यहाँ पे है सऊदी अरेबिया. वी हैव सऊदी अरेबिया लाइक दिस. आपने ऐसे बनाया. अगेन सऊदी अरेबिया, यहां से स्ट्रेट बनाओ, पैरेलल. हॉर्न ऑफ अफ्रीका को पैरेलल लेके चलो. बड़ा बूट बनाओ. छोटा बूट इटली था, बड़ा बूट आपका सऊदी अरेबिया. ये बड़ा सा बूट है ऐसे, ठीक है. समझ आए बूट क्या होता है इसको देख के. इसके बाद आप इंडिया तो बनाने आता है, वी नो इंडिया, ठीक है, उतना बनाना. अच्छा, इंडिया को 23.5 डिग्री तक लेके आना. ऐसे नहीं कि इंडिया इज मिसिंग समवेयर, ये ऐसे इंडिया को 23.5 डिग्री तक लेके आना, ठीक है. थोड़ा और ऊपर होना चाहिए था, बट देन ट्राई टू डू दैट. ओके, देन यू मेक साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. साउथ ईस्ट एशिया यहाँ पे बना दो. इंडोनेशिया बना दो. छोटे छोटे आइलैंड्स हैं, सुमात्रा, जावा, बाली, लोम्बोक. हाँ, ऑस्ट्रेलिया लास्ट में बनाएंगे, अभी बनाया नहीं है, ठीक है. तो नहीं, नॉट मीट नहीं करे. मेरे पास स्कोप नहीं है वहां पे चेंज करने का. बोर्ड इज नॉट कोऑपरेटिंग विथ मी, दैट्स द ओनली आइडिया. यार मैप बनाया नहीं है, मैप देखा तो होगा ना. मैप देखा तो होगा कि क्या ग्रीनलैंड और स्कैंडिनेविया जुड़ जाते हैं? नहीं जुड़ते हैं ना, ठीक है, फाइन. अरे दूर है ये स्कैंडिनेविया पेनिनसुला है ना, ये वाला, ये. अच्छा, ये ग्रीनलैंड है, ठीक है. दिस बिलोंग्स टू, ग्रीनलैंड बिलोंग्स टू डेनमार्क, ठीक. डेनमार्क इज अ कंट्री इन यूरोप, ठीक है. वहां से 66.5 डिग्री नॉर्थ पास होता है, राइट. सो ग्रीनलैंड. मूविंग ऑन. मूविंग ऑन, यहाँ पे कामचट का पेनिनसुला बना दिया, यहाँ पे साउथ ईस्ट एशिया का इंडोनेशिया बना दिया. देन यू गो फॉर सी एंड अ सी एंड देन जॉइन इट. टू और यू कैन राइट 3 ऑल्सो. 2 उल्टे सी बनाए हुए हैं और कुछ नहीं किया है. अरे उल्टा सी बनाया है, ये 2 सी बना के ज्वाइन किया. दिस इज 1 सी द अदर सी, ज्वाइन इट. समझ आया? ऑस्ट्रेलिया बनाओ. ऑस्ट्रेलिया तो बनाना इजी है बहुत, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इजी थिंग टू डू. हाँ ठीक है, ऐसे ही बना लो. फर्स्टली पैट योरसेल्फ कि आप लोगों ने, हाँ मतलब डाउट है कि मेंस में बनाना है, बिल्कुल बनाना है. और बनाना भी नहीं सिर्फ 30 सेकंड में बनाना है, क्योंकि 7 मिनट्स में आंसर लिखना है. ठीक, इतना बढ़िया क्या, इतनी बार टिप देंगे. वेट, इतना बढ़िया, ये बढ़िया नहीं है. पहले तो 1, हाँ इसके बाद आइलैंड्स बनाएंगे. ये है मेडागास्कर, ये है श्रीलंका, यहाँ पे है टेरा डेल फ्यूगो, यहाँ पे है न्यू फाउंडलैंड आइलैंड, यू हैव जापान हियर. ठीक है, हाँ यस, होकाइडो, होंशु, शिकोकू, क्योशु, रियोकू. ठीक है, हाँ बना दो. पॉइंट ये है, एक बार 4-5 बार आप अपने दिमाग में मैप बना दो, 4-5 बार प्रैक्टिस कर लो. उसके बाद जब भी क्लास आते हो, आई बिलीव आप 10:55 तक पहुंच जाते होंगे. ठीक है, 10 क्लास स्टार्ट होती है एट अराउंड 11:02, 11:05. यू हैव 10 मिनट्स. तो मैपिंग ही स्केच करो. स्केच दी, अच्छा उसके पहले करंट अफेयर की क्लास कितने बजे होती है? परसों खत्म हो जाएगी ना. ठीक है, तो परसों से 10 मिनट्स, whenever you are coming to the class, for the first 10 minutes try to sketch. जितनी बार स्केच करोगे, see I'll tell you one thing, your brain relax by painting and drawing and sketching. So if you want to relax, if you want to make your brain relax, draw करो. क्लास के 10 मिनट पहले ड्रॉ करो, तो उतनी बार ड्रॉ कर लोगे कि हैबिट हो जाएगी. आज पहली बार तो बनाया है आई बिलीव, राइट? तो you've done a good work. ठीक बनाया है, फिर से बनाओ. ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज मेक इट अगेन. एक और बार बनाओ. नहीं, कुछ और बन रहा है, दिखाओ क्या बन रहा है. हाँ ठीक तो है, हाँ ये बढ़िया बना है. पहले बना चुके हो तुम? नहीं बनाया, फर्स्ट टाइम बनाया. गुड. क्यों इतना कॉन्शियस हो रहे हो? व्हाई इज दिस? व्हाई? इट्स गुड वर्क. इंडिया, पूरे इंडिया में बना दिया. ये अच्छा नहीं बनाया बस. दिस इज नॉट गुड. यहाँ पे आपने गड़बड़ किया है. दिस इज फाइन, दिस इज नॉट गुड. ऑस्ट्रेलिया कुड बी इम्प्रूव्ड. आई एम सीइंग, आई एम लुकिंग. अच्छा बनाया है, इसको थोड़ा बड़ा अच्छा बना दो. दिस इज अ गुड वर्क. यस, बताओ. एनीबॉडी हु फील्स आई हैव डन अ वेरी बैड वर्क, शो मी दैट. ये स्ट्रेट लाइन बनाओ, ऐसे से गोला बनाओ. दैट इज इट. आई विल टेल यू. अफ्रीका को ऐसे उल्टा क्यों कर दिया? दिस इज अ गुड. ठीक है, ठीक है, और ठीक कर सकते हैं. कुड हैव बीन बेटर. प्रैक्टिस. अफ्रीका को स्ट्रेट ऐसे बनाओ.
नहीं पता था.
ये स्ट्रेट करो.
अच्छा ये.
ठीक है, ऐसे कैसे बनता है? एक सी, उसके बाद ऐसे, ये है 3, ये है ऐसे, और बस उसके बाद स्ट्रेट. समझ आया? कमिंग.
अफ्रीका वाला नहीं आ रहा.
ठीक है, फाइन फाइन. बताओ. पेयर वर्क. इंडोनेशिया गायब कर दिया है पूरा. चाइना का बॉर्डर बना दे. चाइना बोर्ड में कम हो जाएगा. China will not fit into the board. That's the idea. If China could fit into the board, क्या ही बात है. ठीक है. One thing that you need to know is, some of you are having problem with Africa. This is like see. You have a bracket. You have a 3. You have a horn. Horn ऐसे बनता है. ठीक है, ऐसे और ऐसे. And then you just join. Straight ही join करो, straight join करो. That is it. ठीक है. Some of you, what you have done is, you have made Australia like this. ऐसे मत बनाओ, इतना मत सुला दो उसको. ठीक है, डोंट डू दैट. हाँ, ऐसे था अफ्रीका, वेगनर के पैंजिया में ऐसा ही था. इट वॉज लाइक दिस ओनली. बट देन ठीक है, तब अलग बनाएंगे. फाइन. व्हाट अबाउट द 66.5? 66.5 passes through your Alaska. It passes through Alaska. You Alaska, Canada, Canada, Denmark, your Norway, Sweden, Sweden, Russia. ठीक है, तो 66.5 passes from the northern part, extreme north, that is your Alaska, Canada. यहाँ पे Iceland भी है. Somewhere here you have your Iceland also. So it passes through the Alaska, that is USA, Canada, Greenland, therefore Denmark, Iceland. We have Norway, Finland, Sweden, and Russia. These are the 8 countries through which your 66.5 degree north passes. As 66.5 degree passes from here, इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? आर्कटिक सर्कल. तो इसका आपके जो काउंसिल है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? आर्कटिक रीजनल काउंसिल. आर्कटिक काउंसिल. ठीक है, तो आर्कटिक काउंसिल में कितनी कंट्रीज हैं? 8 कंट्रीज हैं. कैसे? यूएस, दैट इज अलास्का पार्ट, कनाडा, you have Iceland, therefore the Denmark, Greenland, therefore Denmark, you have Iceland, you have Norway, Finland and Sweden. इन तीनों कंट्री को, नॉर्वे, फिनलैंड, स्वीडन को क्या कहते हैं आप? स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज. दी स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज. व्हाट विल कम अंडर स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज? बताओ क्या क्या होता है स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज में? फाइंड्स याद करो. FINDS. FINDS. फिनलैंड, आइसलैंड, नॉर्वे, डेनमार्क एंड स्वीडन. ठीक है, जस्ट राइट फाइंड्स. FINDS. दिस इज द हॉर्न ऑफ अफ्रीका. दिस इज द हॉर्न ऑफ अफ्रीका. व्हाट ऑल कम हियर? सीड. रिमेंबर द वर्ड सीड. सोमालिया, Ethiopia, you have Eritrea, we have Djibouti, DGIBOUTI, Djibouti. What is there in finds? You have Finland, not Ireland, Iceland, नेदरलैंड भी नहीं है, नॉर्वे है. ये प्रॉब्लम होता है निमोनिक्स के साथ. यू रिमेंबर द निमोनिक्स. सोमालिया को करके आते हो सूडान, सूडान को करके आते हो सऊदी अरेबिया. ठीक है, और यूपीएससी ऐसे ही करता है. देन यू हैव डेनमार्क, यू हैव स्वीडन. ओके, व्हाट डू वी हैव हियर? यू हैव योर आइबेरियन पेनिनसुला. This is the Iberian Peninsula. In Iberian Peninsula, you have Spain and Portugal. Spain and Portugal. Denmark. See, Djibouti, DJIBOUTI, Djibouti. Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal. You have your atlas with you. कल से atlas लेके आना. Get your atlas from tomorrow. We'll start off somewhat of mapping for you. थोड़ा बहुत दिखाते चलेंगे every day. Any publication, you can get Oxford, you can get Orient Black Swan. I like Oxford more. You can get any of them because Oxford में ज़्यादा अच्छे से detailing की हुई है. So you can use that. Initially, Orient Black Swan was very good, but now Oxford has improved. Iberian है, साइबेरिया तो रशिया में है. ठीक है, Siberia is there in Russia. Himalayas protects us from the cold Siberian winds. तो साइबेरिया का है somewhere here in Russia. Is it fine? So this was your world map. Practice your world map. Go back home. Practice the world map. 23.5 degree north, south. 23.5 degree south. It passes through Australia. I have made it there, but actually ये यहाँ पे 23.5 degree south passes through Australia. यहाँ पे तस्मानिया है. यहाँ पे न्यूजीलैंड है. 23.5 degree south passes. It is through the Southern Ocean. यहाँ पे you have a ocean called as Southern Ocean. अब ये देख ही रहे हो मैप, तो मुझे बताओ which is the largest ocean? Pacific Ocean. Which is the second largest ocean? Antarctica, the continent. Atlantic, then Indian, then Southern Ocean, then Arctic. So if you try to write this, the first, can I switch this? All of you, have you done? Okay. So if I try to write about the size-wise continents, the size-wise ocean, if I have to write the oceans size-wise, you have Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern and Arctic. Short form दिख रहा है? Can you see? Can you see a short form? Pacific, Atlantic, yes. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern Ocean, and then the Arctic Ocean. This is your continent. This is your ocean size-wise. This is the ocean size-wise. The ocean size-wise. If I talk about the continent size-wise, the continent size-wise, the biggest continent is Asia, then Africa, then North America, then South America, then Antarctica, then Europe, and then you have Australia. How can you remember this? See, there are various ways in which you can remember things. Facts को याद करना है, तो you have to deploy certain tricks. Only when you deploy certain tricks, it will be easy for you to remember certain facts. What are the tricks that generally people deploy while studying facts? One of the tricks that people generally deploy while studying the facts is, some of them use the technique of phonetics. Phonetics यानी क्या? Rhyming बना दिया. You have some rhyme words. You have something that you can hear and you can remember. Okay, we remember A, B, C, D, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, because we have been fed it. तो phonetics से हम लोग ने सीखा है. तो you remember thing by creating some rhymes. For example, if I talk about Eastern Ghats, I remember Eastern Ghats by rhymes. Eramala, Nalamala, Velikonda, Palikonda. तो rhyme कर रहा है Eramala, Nalamala, Velikonda, Palikonda. तो ऐसे आप कुछ rhymes बना सकते हो, so that you remember things easily. Eramala, Nalamala, Velikonda, Palikonda. These are the 4 major hills of Eastern Ghats. Then you have Javadi and Shivroy. So what have I done is I have just used the technique of phonetics, remembering thing via rhymes. That is your one way of remembering things. The other way of remembering things is by creating certain mnemonics. So that is now the market is being flooded with this. So you have seed, Horn of Africa is seed. You have Pesa. तो ये आपको easily मिल जाएगा. If you talk about Black Sea, तो you would know the countries surrounding the Black Sea. ये नहीं पता Black Sea का है. Black Sea किसके ऊपर है, किसके नीचे है, अफ्रीका. हाँ, ये भी बहुत जरूरी है. विजुअलाइजेशन भी बहुत जरूरी है. तो कई बच्चों को ये नहीं पता होता कि कहाँ पे है, बट ये पता है कि कंट्रीज कौन सी सराउंडेड है, जस्ट बिकॉज दे हैव डन सर्टेन निमोनिक्स. तो ब्लैक देखेंगे तो टी दिखेगा, ब्लैक टी देखते ना, ग्रीन टी, ब्लैक टी, रेड टी, व्हाइट टी, जैस्मिन टी. तो ब्लैक टी. So how do they remember? They will, when hear the word black, they will say the country surrounding a tea, और टी के साथ बर्गर. ठीक है, तो टी बर्गर. तो ब्लैक सी से कौन सी कंट्रीज हैं? यू हैव टर्की, बल्गेरिया, यूक्रेन, रशिया, जॉर्जिया एंड रोमानिया. These are the countries surrounding the Black Sea. What I'm trying to say here is, via examples, we will cover this all in the world map classes. So don't worry, content पे मत जाओ. ठीक है, approach पे जाओ. What is the approach? The approach is you need to remember things. How do I remember things? I can remember things by mnemonics. Okay, the market is flooded with this. I can remember things by certain phonetics. I am using certain rhyming words and remember things. I can also remember by certain lines. आपने lines बना दी, your brain remembers pattern. So you are making some lines and you are remembering things. So here if I say, how do I remember continent size wise is my brain has told, बिल्ली की आवाज क्यों आ रही है? My brain has some memory which says that okay fine, it is like this, one line from Asia to Africa, the second line North America to South America, so 1 2 3 4, and then you have another line like this, you have Antarctica, Europe, and then Australia. Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. So whenever you think of something to remember, so whenever I'm talking about continent size wise, it's like this. समझ आ रहा है? It's like Africa, Asia, Africa, North America, South America. You have Antarctica, Europe, and then Australia. So your brain brain can remember things by mnemonics, by certain rhymes, by certain lines, the line pattern that you can use. So what I'm trying to tell you here is कि ये तो आपको मार्केट ने बता दिया, ये तो पूरा भर गया मार्केट में, ठीक है. You develop your own styles, and we have different ways of learning. Some of us are auditory learners, some of us are visual learners, some of us are kinesthetic learners. Auditory हमको सुन के याद होता है, visual हमको देख, we can hear things and remember. Visual, that means we can see things and remember. Kinesthetic is I will have to perform and remember. I'll have to write answers. I'll have to perform in the test. I'll have to give mock test. That is what we are. And none of us have, all of us have all of these combined together. But certain part of it dominates. Certain part dominates like visual, like auditory, like kinesthetic. So remember things by this. So here, why did I say line? Because I remember it by line. You have Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica, and Australia, Europe, and Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. ठीक है? Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. नहीं, ऐसे और ऐसे. ये एशिया करो ना फिर. You do it Asia, no? Do it like this. Whatever the point was कि कैसे कैसे लर्न कर सकते हो, फोनेटिक्स से कर सकते हो, राइम से कर सकते हो, लाइन से बना लो. आपके कई बार स्टेट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट रिपोर्ट दे हैव आस्क्ड सबसे ज्यादा व्हाट इज द नंबर, द सेकंड नंबर इन व्हिच द स्टेट हैज द लार्जेस्ट फॉरेस्ट. दिस वाज आस्क्ड इन योर यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. वो पूरा लाइन से अरेंज करना था. Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, that was they had given a question. The question that they had given in UPSC was arrange the following states in the decreasing order of the forest reserves. So that is what they had asked. So what happens is you will have to use some tricks to remember. That's what my intention here was. What were we looking? We were looking at the world map. The world map, and we looked at some of the important things around the world map. Can I move on? Start करें. इंडिया मैप बना लो. अच्छा बना रहे हो, क्यों टेंशन ले रहे हो? बनाओ. I think all of you are taking performance pressure. You're making good map. और या तो फिर आपको आता है. You don't want to make. Come on. Let's start off with the map of India. Again, I will just use brackets. I will just use the brackets. I will just use the brackets to make the map of India. Here, I am starting off with Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. This is the first bracket. This is the first bracket. Here, one bracket. You have a C. You have a C here. It's like a C. Okay, the C, but this is not सीधा C. This is ulta C. ये फिर से again a bracket, again a bracket. Okay, so what did I do? I started off like this. I started off with one bracket, a C, again a bracket. Okay, one bracket, one C, again a bracket. Correct? Then we have to make, then you know about Rajasthan goes like this. Then you have a small cap, छोटी topi, a small cap here, goes like this. Then you have a lion's mouth. It's like a lion's mouth that is open. ठीक है? So this is your Gujarat. We have Rajasthan. We have many lions from Gujarat. Naturally, human species वाले भी. ठीक है. Here you have one bracket again here. This is Uttarakhand, हिमाचल प्रदेश एंड उत्तराखंड. ठीक है, हिमाचल प्रदेश उत्तराखंड, फिर से एक ब्रैकेट बनाई ऐसे, ये आप क्या हो गया, नेपाल. सो हियर यू हैव अ ब्रैकेट हियर, अगेन अ ब्रैकेट हियर, इसको बंद कर दिया यहाँ पर. ठीक है, आई स्टॉप्ड मेकिंग एनी मोर ब्रैकेट्स. ठीक है, मेक इट, बनाओ. फिर से बनाओ, मेक इट अगेन, योर इज नाइस. सो इट सीम्स टू बी फेयर. फिर से बनाए, मेक इट अगेन. यस, बताओ. अच्छा दिखाओ. हाँ, यू डिड नॉट इवन शो मी वर्ल्ड मैप. हाँ, दिस इज गुड, यू नो हाउ टू मेक मैप ऑफ इंडिया. इसको ठीक करो, इसको थोड़ा ऊपर ले जाओ. यस, हाँ फेयर. ठीक है, ये हो गया. दिस इज दी half baked map of India. We have then I am making Bangladesh and Northeast. Here you have, okay, it's like Bugs Bunny, you know Bugs Bunny, rabbit, and the ears of rabbit. The ears of rabbit are like this. Okay, 2 ears of the rabbit. Then you have something, some face like this. Okay, ऐसे ऐसे ऐसे, दो ऐसे ईयर बनाए, एक ऐसे छोटा सा मुंह बनाया, सीधी बॉडी बनाई, फिर उसके ऐसे दो बना दिए. ठीक है. Okay, there are 2 ears. This is one mouth. You go straight, you go straight. Okay, this is your Bangladesh. And then what you do? You roughly join the northeastern states. थोड़ा idea है, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. Just roughly join the northeastern states. Okay, I've just roughly joined the northeastern states there. This is better than before. Good. ठीक है, उसके बाद क्या है? Go for straight line. This is a straight line. मन में सोच लेना. यहाँ पे you can go for a straight line in mind. Take one straight line में keep one dot, a join. Join it. This straight line was actually asked. This straight line was actually asked in your prelims examination when they asked which of the following city is closest to the longitude of Delhi. In 2018 prelims, yes, in 2018 they asked which of the following city is lying closest from when you draw a longitude from the Delhi, and they had given options like Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Pune. 4 options were given. The answer was Bangalore, but Hyderabad is also very nearby. Because when you see, it was not easy question. Obviously 2 options are always close that UPSC gives. Pune was easy to eliminate, Nagpur was easy to eliminate. The 2 options were easy to eliminate, 2 options were difficult. There is a famous longitude that passes from Delhi to the country. So I'm trying to just try to replicate that only. Okay, this one, this is the difficult one to draw. Okay, so what you do is I'm just helping you out here. You go straight like this, ऐसे make a cap, and you don't go like this. Don't go like this. Rather, you go like this. Okay. So this is like, it would have been if this would have been done, it would have been very easy. But it is like this. You draw a cap and then you draw like this. Okay. So come on, continue drawing like this only. Okay. So this is what your mapping is. This is the western side of the country. Okay. Right? All of you clear? Done? The mapping of India, the mapping of world. अब इसको बस practice करना. Try to practice it as many times as you can. Okay? this portion can be better. और ये वाला थोड़ा सा. Is it fine? Can I move on? The mapping done? Can I? Yes. हाँ ठीक है. हाँ, fair work, decent work. I think mapping of India would not be a major problem. Mapping of world was a major problem. ठीक है. Can I move on? Not a major problem. ठीक है. Okay, fine. So this was about the map of India and the map of world. We will now start off the topic. The topic of discussion is universe and the solar system. Universe and the solar system. Universe यानी क्या? Universe means Brahmand. The entire Big Bang that happened, that led to creation of there was a tiny ball. The tiny ball exploded. This tiny ball was a ball with immense amount of volume. It was very dense. It was very dense. It had a lot of mass, and the volume was very less. It was very less volume, great mass, great density. This tiny ball exploded. As the tiny ball exploded, it created a fabric of space. It created a fabric of space, and it created, with the explosion, there was mass that was formed. There was formation of stars, there was formation of galaxies, there was formation of the nebula, etc. That is what is one theory of the formation of universe. But what is universe? The present day, the trillions of stars, the trillions of galaxies, the millions of the solar systems that we have. So this is about your universe. If I talk about, I will make you write, pehle sun le. If I talk about the formation of the universe, the formation of universe came from a very small tiny ball. The tiny ball with very less volume, huge mass, huge density, it exploded. As it exploded, it created a fabric of space. As it created a fabric of space, it also created various stars and the galaxies. So here, a tiny ball exploding, creating the fabric of space, mass, and you have lot of stars and the galaxies that are getting formed. Now, as you can see here also, these galaxies, they are now still presently they are moving apart from one another. So abhi bhi they have, this has not stopped. The galaxies are moving further apart from one another. There is also possible that again at one point the entire thing can come again become a single tiny ball. So it is possible that you have a tiny ball, the tiny ball exploded, the galaxies were formed, the stars were formed, and the galaxies and stars are expanding and they are moving away. It can happen that again at a point of time they can again become a small tiny ball. So when there was theories, there were many theories. The origin, the formation of universe is still not known completely. बहुत theories ने बताया हुआ है, certain theories like a pulsating theory, you have a steady state theory, you have a big bang theory. Steady state theory, as the name suggests, it is that universe has no beginning, universe has no end. It is the most easy thing to say. ऐसा है, ऐसा ही रहेगा, ऐसा ही होता है. It's very easy. It has no beginning, it has no end, and there is steady state. That is one. Though this is not an accepted theory. The other theory is a pulsating theory, like a pulse. The pulse can increase, the pulse can reduce. So pulsating theory. So universe is expanding. There will come a point. Again it will contract. Again it will expand. Again it will contract. From this theory is also similar is your Big Bang theory, where there was one tiny ball, a big, the massive explosion happened. Why this explosion happened, we don't know, but a massive explosion happened, led to creation of the fabric of space, stars, and the galaxies. It is quite possible that again all the galaxies can again come together and form your universe. Again form a small tiny ball, right? So this is about your universe and the formation of the universe. In the universe, you have many stars, many galaxies, many nebula. So we will study them one by one. पहले universe, then we will go for formation of stars, then we will understand the formation of the planets, then we will understand about the solar system. We will then move on and understand that what kind of questions have come in your examination. आपके questions आए हैं solar system से. There have been 4 to 5 questions. We will deal with them one by one. So for now, please start off with, give the heading universe. Give the heading universe. Universe. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Universe has millions of stars. Universe has millions of stars. It is millions of stars and galaxies. So it's basically around about 100 to 400 billion galaxies. कितनी galaxies है? Universe, it has about 100 to 400 billion galaxies, with each galaxy having, okay, universe has 100 to 400 billions of galaxies, with each galaxy having 100 to 400 billions of stars. With each galaxy having 100 to 400 billions of stars. Universe has galaxies, comma stars. Universe has solar system. Universe has solar system. Okay, fine. Universe has 100 to 400 billion galaxies, with each galaxy having 100 to 400 billion stars. Full stop. Yes. Full stop. Universe has solar system, comma stars, comma galaxies. Universe has stars, comma galaxy, comma solar system. Okay. The most common shape of a galaxy, the most common shape of a galaxy is spiral. Shape of galaxy is spiral. This is how the most common galaxies are. So galaxy ke you can have different shapes. You can have a spiral shape, you can have a elliptical shape, you can have a irregular shape, any shape, but the most common shape is the spiral. Our solar system, next point, our solar system belongs to Milky Way galaxy. Okay, this was your universe. Give the heading formation of universe. The formation of the universe. Formation of universe. First point. हाँ ठीक है, बिलियंस में भी आप बोल सकते हो, ट्रिलियंस बोलो, बिलियंस बोलो, पूरी तरीके से है नहीं. इट विल नॉट इवन आस्क यू 100 to 400 बिलियंस और ट्रिलियंस ऑफ गैलेक्सीज. दैट इज नॉट एन इशू देयर. ठीक है, करेक्ट. ग्रेविटेशनल कोलैप्स होता है. देयर आर, सी व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट यूनिवर्स, देयर इज ब्लैक होल, देयर इज डार्क एनर्जी. So it is possible that again there will, after there is expansion is over, again the gravitational collapse can happen, and the entire thing can again become like a one tiny ball. The black hole with dark energy can succumb, can take the entire stars with them. That's how the idea is. कि फिर से ऐसा होगा, फिर से big bang होगा, फिर से वापस it will be again a tiny ball, again a big bang. That is what it is being said. The origin of tiny ball is not known. The explosion of tiny ball is not known. ठीक है? That's what it is said. We do not know. How did it come? How did it explode? We do not know. तो पहला point वही लिखा रहे. The first point is this only, that the formation of universe, first point, formation of universe is not completely understood. Formation of universe is not completely understood. Is not completely understood. Second point, there are various theories. There are various theories explaining for example उसके बाद सब पॉइंट लिखे 1. In the point 2 write the sub point 1. The first theory explaining is the steady state theory. Steady state theory. Steady, STEADY, steady state theory. Okay, write a dash and mention that the overall size and mass of universe, the overall size and the mass of universe remains constant at any point of time, okay, full stop. The universe has no beginning and no end. Okay, full stop. The rate of formation of the new stars is the rate of the formation of the new stars is same as the rate at which the old stars become unobservable. Okay, so this is the first theory. Steady state theory. Universe has no beginning, no end. The rate, the size will remain same, the mass will remain same. The rate at which new stars are being formed will be same at which the old star becomes unobservable. You see, it says it is expanding. It is expanding. This theory is saying steady state in the form of the mass, in the form of the size, but says it is expanding, right? Yes, but then वो explain नहीं करते. It is not explaining those. नहीं, we do not. हाँ, ये सब hypothesis है. एक idea दूसरे idea last में जो कम एक होता है गलत. One is wrong, the other is absolute wrong. One is एक होता है गलत, एक होता है सरासर गलत. जो सरासर गलत होता है उसको reject करते हैं. Right? See, what is knowledge? Knowledge is, or what is wisdom? Wisdom is knowing that we do not know. That is what is wisdom. So we do not know, but we are trying to know. That is what is wisdom. And that day also I said yesterday only that we can go for development till the time nature allows us to develop. So the wisdom part is that we do not know much, and whatever you know, we are trying to figure out. हम story बना रहे हैं, fiction कर रहे हैं, and then we are trying to figure out. We are trying to just make sense of this nonsense world. ठीक है? This is a very, very nonsense world. We are just trying to make sense of the world. Moving on, please write about the second sub point, pulsating theory. The pulsating theory. P-U-L-S-A-T-I-N-G, pulsating theory. Dash and write as per this theory, the universe expands. As per the theory, the universe expands and contracts alternatively. Okay, full stop and write. It expands because of explosion and contracts because of gravitational pull. The universe is presently, it is expanding because of explosion, contracting because of the gravitational pull. The universe is presently in the phase of expansion. Okay, this was the second theory. The third theory, the third theory is your Big Bang theory. Okay, dash and write. According to this theory, 13.7 billion years ago, the universe was extremely compact. पूरा compact था, extremely compact, comma dense, and a singular tiny ball. It was compact, dense, and a singular tiny ball with huge density, big, मतलब बहुत dense था, huge density, huge mass, and low volume. Low volume बहुत छोटा है, ठीक है, volume is very less. But then in this time, when I say volume, when I'm saying volume, I am referring to what? The size, right? You know what is density? Mass per unit volume. So when you have, what is density? Density is your mass per unit volume. This is density. So you have very high density, you have massive density, you have very high mass, you have huge mass, and what do you have? You have very low volume. So a tiny ball, tiny means with respect to volume, a tiny ball, and what it has huge mass, it has huge density. Imagine the whole universe, you try to keep it in a small tiny ball. So इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? This is also called as a singularity. You have written the word singularity. Okay, singularity. So what it is saying? That the entire universe at 13.7 billion years ago was compact, huge mass, huge density, and very low volume in a form of tiny ball. Then write, there was no matter. There was no matter, comma, no space. There was no matter and no space. Full stop. 13.7 billion years ago, 13.7 billion years ago, a cosmic explosion called as Big Bang, happened, and the tiny ball expanded in all direction. Expanded in all direction. The tiny ball expanded in all direction at extraordinary speed. At extraordinary speed. Creating a fabric of space, creating a fabric of space, energy, and matter, The matter was scattered in form of nebula. The matter was scattered in a form of, in the form of nebula. What is nebula? Write in bracket. Cloud of dust. The cloud of dust. Debris. The cloud of dust, debris. Metallic compounds. Rocks, etc. Okay. Then write, from that time, universe is expanding. From that time, universe is expanding. And it continues. Till date. Aaj tak it is still expanding. The expansion is discovered through a phenomena called red shift. It is called as red shift. It is known through a phenomena called as red shift. Now, what is red shift? See, every object emits radiations. The radiations, any object that is emitting radiations are your gamma, X-ray, U, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwave and radio wave. Any object emits some radiation. In the visible, you have what? We have a phenomena. We have the visible light is made up of pure. Okay. Now, when something expands, the shift becomes towards red color. Okay. So, this was, as we can see, that the light that is emitted by the various stars and the galaxies, they are shifting towards red. The spectrum that I can see by the instruments that we have, I can see that the light is shifting. Initially, let's say the light was towards blue. Then now as it is expanding, the color of the light is now shifting towards red. This tells me that the universe is expanding. When something contracts, the shift is called as blue shift. It is not called as violet shift. It is called as blue shift. Why? Because blue is a color that humans perceive more. Blue color we can perceive more. We cannot perceive violet color. Our eyes cannot perceive violet color. Our eyes cannot perceive indigo color. What do we say? The hottest of hot flame is what color? It is blue color, because we can perceive blue color. So we say one shift. Something that expands shifts towards red. Something that contracts shifts towards blue. So how do we know that the universe is expanding? Because of this shift, because of the red shift. White light is anything that, what is a white light? White light is composed of these lights. All of them combined together will give white light, right? So that is why you're saying we see white light. We see white light, but when you try to measure it through instruments, you would know exactly when it is shifting, whether it is shifting towards the blue and the violet or whether it is shifting towards the red. So when I say something is having a red shift, that means it can move from violet to indigo, or it can move from indigo to blue. It can move from blue to yellow, from green to yellow, yellow to orange, orange to red. Does not mean ki red color ki light, the thing should be red colored light only. Does not mean that the thing should emit red colored light only. It is shifting. The pattern is shifting. And if the pattern shifts the reverse, we call this as the blue shift. It is about wavelength, it is about frequency, it is about that.
यूनिवर्स एक्सपैंड करना, प्लैनेट एमिट कौन करेगा? प्लैनेट्स करेंगे, सेलेस्टियल बॉडीज करेंगे।
हाँ
बट वो एक्सपैंड नहीं कर रहे, एक्सपैंड
नहीं, द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन, हाँ, yes but then they are trying to, जो डिस्टेंस हो रहा है, the distance that is being measured by some constant, Hubble constant, वो बता रहे हैं कि हाँ expansion हो रहा है. Even if they are emitting light, even if they do not have the light of their own, they are emitting light. If they are emitting light, they are emitting light of a particular color. When the distance increases, the wavelength increases. As the wavelength increases, ये जो आपका ये होता है, this depends on what is the wavelength and what is the frequency. What is the frequency and what is the wavelength? When you move from gamma to radio, what is increasing? The wavelength is increasing. What is reducing? The frequency is reducing. So even if they are not emitting their own light, even if they are emitting, at least the wavelength would change. The frequency would change. As the wavelength and the frequency change, the color changes. As the color changes, how am I recognizing? I am recognizing via the red light or red shift or the blue shift. In bracket जहाँ पे red light, red shift लिखा है, जहाँ पे red shift लिखा है, please write in bracket something that expands. Something that expands. I'll give you an example of this. Something that expands shows a red shift. Something that expands shows a red shift, while something that contracts, shows a blue shift. A very simple example that we have already seen, that we witness in our common life also. While I'm standing on a signal, I can hear an ambulance coming. As an ambulance comes, I am not emitting horn, but I can see an ambulance is emitting some siren. So as it comes near, I can hear more siren. As it goes at distance, I can hear less siren. This is Doppler shift, right? Similarly, Doppler pattern, Doppler effect. Similarly, even if these planets are not emitting their light, they are emitting something else, somebody else's light, the wavelength changes, the frequency changes. And on that basis, we know the shift. Okay, please write about this. We have written this. Why is this? The rate of expansion. The rate of expansion of the star, can be known from Hubble's constant, Hubble, Hubble's constant. Is note Hubble's constant. Hubble is the name of a scientist. He has calculated a constant, and it tells us about what? It tells me about the rate of the expansion of the stars, right? Okay, so this was about the universe, the formation of the universe, and the phenomena of the Big Bang. Okay, then we have the other phenomena, that is the formation of the stars. What is the formation of a star? Formation of a star and formation of planets we will understand together. There's nothing difference in it. There's the pattern, the phenomena is same. The only thing that is different is the The only thing that is different is the size of the nebula. So where did we start from? आप सुन ले पहले. Where did we start from? We started off this theory from the expansion of the formation of the universe. This is your tiny ball. The tiny ball exploded. It created millions of stars, millions of galaxy. The matter that scattered was in the form of nebula. The nebula was what? A cloud of the dust, a cloud of gases, a cloud of the metallic compounds and the rocky substances. This is a cloud. Now this cloud, after this cloud has expanded bit, after that it starts falling under its own gravitational weight. Under its own gravity, under its own weight, it starts falling. So what happens is, you call this as the gravitational pull. Gravitational pull pe it start falling. It start what? It starts accreting. It starts cooling. It starts contracting. So it is cooling, it is contracting, it is falling, gravitational collapse, and as it cools, contracts, then it forms various stars and the planets. The star is formed when a bigger size of nebula contracts to become a star. If I talk about our solar system, 97% of the weight of nebula has been occupied by what? Sun. And the cloud was a disc-shaped cloud. So the 97% of the weight has been taken by sun. The rest of the planets, they actually took some portion of the nebula. Okay, so this is how your planets and the stars have been formed. So you can see this is your nebula. This is the nebula. The nebula starts falling, start collapsing under its own weight. This leads to gravitational collapse, and this forms your stars. This is how your stars actually formed. If I talk about the formation of this nebula, there were many theories about it. One of the first famous theories is your nebula hypothesis. हमारे लिए वही पढ़ना है. We know only that much. That much is enough. What is this nebula? The nebula is your cloud. Starts collapsing, contracting, leads to the formation of under the gravitational collapse, leads to the formation of the stars, leads to the formation of the planets. These small, before a planet forms, you have small masses, small rocky substances. They are called as planetoids. What is a planetoid? A small planet. So planetoids, they come together and they make up your planets. Okay, this is how things are coming. So this is your formation of star and planet. If I talk about our solar system, it was formed from a disc-shaped nebula. This disc-shaped nebula, majority of the weight was taken up by the star, that is sun. So sun took the 97% of the weight, and rest of the planet, they took some portion, and the shape of the nebula was disc-shaped, and therefore we know that the planets are around the sun in a disc shape. So the disc shape is there, and the planets are also revolving around the sun because they are formed from the same nebula. So there is lot of gravitational pull that we have towards the sun. So वो same. Yes, उसी से आसपास. तो सबसे ज्यादा वेट उसने ले लिया और उसके बाद हम उसके आसपास घूम रहे हैं. The counterclockwise, as viewed from the northern hemisphere, it is counterclockwise for much of the planets except for two, that is your Uranus and Venus. Uranus and Venus, they don't. Uranus जैसे tumble करता है. Uranus is actually a tumbling on its weight. Because there was some body that actually struck your Uranus. Video देखना. There was a body that I have that video. There was a body that struck your Uranus and then it started tumbling. ठीक है. वैसे कल दिखाने वाले थे, but आज ही देख लो. I don't think I will have it. I don't think I have it. नहीं है. नहीं. I'll show it to you tomorrow then. कल की क्लासेस में वीडियोस भी होंगे, ठीक है, बिकॉज रोटेशन है, रेवोल्यूशन है, मोशन है, मोशन समझना, ठीक है. सो राइट अबाउट दी आज की क्लास में बस GIF है, ये सब GIFs हैं. These, if you want to see anything you think that you are not able to visualize, what you do is just type in your Google and just write GIF. So formation of faults, formation of fold mountains, and write GIF. You will get good GIF for you to visualize things. So this is your GIFs. Earth abhi bhi nebula. Actually, if I talk about it, we will not say nebula wale stage mein. We will say that the Earth has formed around 3.5 billion years ago. However, the Earth's interior still have the heat. What is happening? There was a nebula. Mass of nebula is cooling and contracting. The Earth is cooling and contracting. As the Earth is cooling and contracting, the cooling and contracting takes place in parts. The layer, first layer cool, second layer cool, third layer cool, and then the cooling will happen in entirety. It is some portions in the Earth, in the interior, that are still very, very hot. We know core is very hot, mantle is very hot. Why are they very hot? There are two reasons for it. One is radioactive disintegration. The radioactive elements, they are disintegrating and there is a lot of heat that is generated. And the other is your primordial heat, residual heat. Residual heat यानी क्या? बची हुई heat. किसकी बची हुई है? Nebula की बची हुई है. तो अभी we will not say we are in a nebula stage because we are not clouds, dust for planet Earth, I am saying. But we still have primordial heat. For some planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, they are still in their nebula stage. They have not yet been formed completely. Therefore, what do we call them this? We call them as the gaseous planets. These all are the gaseous planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Now, we will not say that we are in the, that's what I am saying, in bits and parts you will say. We are not completely in the nebula stage. There are some planets that are there in the nebula phases. There are some that have been formed, but they still have their primordial heat. We'll say that. Okay. Yes. So there is a dark energy. The matter is only 3%. You have dark energy that is expanding the universe. What is expanding the universe is dark energy. How do we know? We see, when I am trying to, I know that the universe is expanding. How do I know there is a redshift? But what is expanding my universe? I do not know. And there is certain portion that is expanding the universe that we refer to as dark energy. If I talk about the mass of universe, greater than 90% is dark energy. That is playing a role, important role in expansion of the universe. Right? Yes. Yes, it does. I'll not say it contributes. I would rather say metal like iron and nickel, they contribute to increasing density of the earth, increasing weight of the earth. Do not say that they contribute to the heating of the earth. The heating of the earth and the movement of nickel and iron constitutes many other things. तो हीटिंग निकल और आयरन के कारण नहीं हो रही, बट हीटिंग हुआ है, मेल्टिंग हुई है, उसके कारण काफी सारी फिनोमेना होती है. हीटिंग दो तीन रीजन के कारण है, प्रीमॉर्डियल हीट, द रेसिडुअल हीट एंड द रेडियोएक्टिव डिसइंटीग्रेशन. राइट? ओके, फाइन. सो super? I'm not aware. Which are we talking about? Are we talking about universe? I'm not aware. I'm not aware about the super current theory. ठीक है? There have been lot of theories coming. That is not even purview. See, at this point of time, when this is my second lecture, and I can see lot of questions coming, which I like it, which I appreciate it. But then, आप दो चीजें समझे. Please understand two things. One is the questions that are probably needed for qualifying the examination. I am studying geography not for becoming a geography professor. Though I am qualified to become one, I have qualified NET examination. So I have, I can become a geography professor, an assistant professor for sure. I am not studying geography to become a geography professor. That is not my intention. My intention is to qualify an examination. So what should I know is, where do I spend my energy is, I'll spend my energy that what previous year question came, what was the topic, what was the scope of the topic. Knowledge is immense. I can acquire as much knowledge as I can. But do I need that for the examination? It is important that you have curious questions. You should have curious questions. But then at least I would know that this is the scope of my examination. Where do I spend my energy more? Do I spend my energy in more curious questions? Or do I spend my energy more in knowing the examination and learning the examination? We have to be a little more goal oriented. That ये मेरा goal है. उसके बाद once you qualify, I am very sure you will not even read Hindu one day, not even once. आप नहीं पढ़ेंगे. You are three things. We need attitude too. We need some attitude because it helps me serve some purpose. We never respected studying so much when we were in probably 6th class, 7th class, 8th class. We had different priorities. Now my attitude is towards learning. Now my attitude is towards going for hard work because this is serving me a purpose. What purpose it is serving me? It is serving me a purpose to qualify the examination. Once that purpose is served, okay, I will have a very different kind of attitude, at least for some time. You will have your honeymoon period for 2 years. At least for 2 years, you will have a different attitude. Then once you get into these services, you will have to work the SDM and assistant collector. Then you'll have a very different kind of attitude. So good, certain questions are good, curious questions are good, but then I would like to say, don't digress your preparation too much. Don't digress it. Rather spend your energy in knowing the examination, learning the examination. Please write. I will have to make you write. It's still 10 minutes. So please write. लिखिए. Solar system, the solar system. अच्छा, formation of stars, sorry, formation of formation. पहले solar system लिखिए, उसके अंदर लिखेंगे formation of stars, formation of the other things. Give the heading solar system. Give the heading solar system. I am concerned about my sun. I am concerned about my star. ठीक है. So write the heading solar system. First, it is a gravitationally bound. It is a gravitationally bound system of sun and the objects that surround it. Okay, sun and the objects that surrounds it. Next point, it was, I can see many of you are writing in paragraphs. Why are you not writing in points? How many of you are writing in paragraphs? All of you, I guess, are writing in paragraphs, no? You're writing in points? Okay, fine, because I can see many of you are just writing in paragraphs. अच्छा, ठीक है. Second point, it is formed. Solar system is formed. It is formed 4.6 billion years ago. 4.6 billion years ago. From the gravitational collapse. Of a giant nebula. Third point, about 99% of the system's mass, is in the sun. (97, 98, 99). While most of the remaining mass is in the planets, with Jupiter occupying a majority of it. If I say, do you know Jupiter is called as a failed star? Jupiter is very massive. Jupiter is very massive. Huh? Jupiter is very massive. If Jupiter would have some more weight, agar thoda aur weight aa jata, then we would have two stars in our solar system, sun and the other sun, the Jupiter. So Jupiter itna massive hai. Huh? हाँ, yes. Light तो क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि इतना मास नहीं है ना. सन को कहां से हीट और लाइट आता है? मास हो रहा है, मास ग्रेविटेशनल कोलैप्स हो रहा है, उससे सन और हीट आता है। उतना मास नहीं है जुपिटर में, इसलिए वो सन नहीं बन पाया, इसलिए वो स्टार नहीं बन पाया। इफ इट वुड हैव सम मोर वेट, if it would have some more weight, the Jupiter would have become a star, just like the sun. So we have 99% in sun, some percent in planets, majority of it in Jupiter. Yes.
How did you lead to the formation of planet? And what is the role why we have distinguished between Jovian planets?
Wait for it. कल की क्लास में आएगा। टेरेस्ट्रियल प्लैनेट, जोवियन प्लैनेट, प्लैनेटेसिमल्स प्लैनेट, इट विल कम। अभी लिखें प्लीज। द origin of the solar system, give the heading origin of the solar system. The origin of the solar system. First point, there are various theories explaining the formation of solar system, like planetesimal hypothesis. Planetesimal hypothesis. I'm writing this for you. The spelling is PLANET, planetesimal hypothesis. There are various theories that are explaining the formation of solar system. One is planetesimal hypothesis. You have a tidal hypothesis, nebular hypothesis. So there are many theories explaining the formation of solar system. इसमें लिखे the most accepted is the nebular hypothesis. The most accepted is the nebular hypothesis. Dash. You can write about the theory, nebular hypothesis के बारे में. Please write about nebular hypothesis. It assumes a pre-existing nebula. It assumes a pre-existing nebula in a rotating state. Full stop. Gradual pulling of nebula. Led to spinning and formation of a flat disk. Gradual pulling, spinning of the nebula led to formation of a flat disk. Then the rings of matter. Full stop. Rings of matter. The rings of matter got separated. The rings of matter got separated from this disk. And condensed to form planets. Is it fine? Try the next point. All the planets revolve on the same plane. All the planets revolve around on the same plane, revealing the relationship with the original nebular disk. सारे के सारे planets, they are revolving around the same plane. As they are revolving around the same plane, what does this tell me? It tells me that there is same nebula. So what happened is, there was a nebula, the nebula was spinning, as the nebula was spinning, there was some dust that came, there was some particles, they condensed to form the planets. The planets, they revolve around the same plane, they revolve around the same plane. As they revolve around the same plane, they tells me what? That it is formed from the same nebula. Right, next point, the increasing density of the earth, the increasing density of the earth in the inner layers, the increasing density of the earth in the inner layers can be explained by nebular hypothesis, can be explained by nebular hypothesis. What I'm trying to say here is, suppose there is a cloud of gas, there is a cloud of debris, the cloud of gas and the cloud of debris is cooling and contracting, it is falling under its own gravitational weight. This is called as gravitational collapse. Now, what do you think will collapse first? The lighter substance will collapse first, or the denser substance will collapse first? The denser substance would collapse first. As it is cooling, contracting, collapsing, the denser will collapse first and the lighter will remain on the surface. So what is it explaining? If you look at the Earth's interior, in the Earth's interior, the density is increasing. As I move from the surface towards the Earth interior, the density is तो कोई भी नहीं, क्यों? जो चीज डेंस होगी वो नीचे जाएगी ना पहले. ग्रेविटी तो काम कर ही रही है ना. ग्रेविटेशनल कोलैप्स क्यों कह रहे हैं? ग्रेविटी इज वर्किंग ऑन इट. So something that is heavy will fall inside. Even if it is even if you are saying it's a free fall, gravity is working. क्यों collapse हो? Gravity के weight के अंदर क्या हो तो हो रहा आपने. So what is happening is, this becomes crust, this becomes mantle, and this becomes the core. So what is happening? The density of the Earth's interior is increasing because of the nebula. We can be explained by the nebular hypothesis. The cooling, contracting, and collapse of the nebula, of the cloud, because of the gravitational collapse. It अपने ही weight में गिर रहा है. भले free आप बोलोगे थोड़ा free fall हो रहा है, but then gravity पे तो काम करेगी उस पे, तभी तो आपका जा रहा है अंदर. So this is explaining. So while I will be explaining the interior of the Earth, I will be using this idea that the interior, the increasing density in the interior of the Earth is because of the nebular hypothesis.
Direct source of learning the interior of the Earth.
You can, it is a theory. When you say evidences, when you say word evidence, you need something to prove. ठीक है? You cannot prove it on the basis of theory. आपको आप meteor बोल सकते हो as a evidence, right? But then not the theory per se. Theory को नहीं बोलोगे ना, आप meteor को बोलोगे. Meteor is an evidence. नहीं, indirect है. Direct सिर्फ दो ही हैं, volcanism and drilling. Direct आपको दिख रहा है, drill कर रहे हो दिख रहा है, volcanism अंदर से बाहर आ रहा है. It is an indirect evidence, right? So I believe this is from my side for today. We will continue with solar system tomorrow and we will wind up the solar system. You have my class tomorrow and then from Monday to Thursday you have my class, right? Every Monday to Thursday I will be taking the class the next week, right? Okay, thank you so much.
Please sit down.
ने बोला नहीं था हमारे अच्छा
No issues. No issues.
कल बोला था ना तुम बताओ क्या बोलना है अभी तो आपने आज न्यूज़ पेपर कराया बस
Okay. So every Sunday there will be a test. Already we have dropped a mail.